Many people in India have started realizing the importance of conservation of resources. However, two communities have been particularly active in this direction. One in Maharashtra and the other in Rajasthan. Let's look at the transformation of the model village of Ralegan Siddhi in Maharashtra first. Earlier, Ralegan Siddhi was a poverty-ridden village in a semi-arid region. The annual rainfall was as low as 400 to 500 millimeters. And what little rain did fall would drain off, leaving the soil eroded and unfit for cultivation. The scarce rainfall was sufficient to grow only one crop annually in about 300 acres of land, even though 2,200 acres were available. Consequently, the village faced water and food scarcity, as well as poverty. From 1975, steps began to be taken for conservation, starting with water resource. To raise the water table, loose boulder structures were constructed to stop water runoff. Ponds were also created to store rainwater. Canals were dug to channel rainwater into fields. Continuous contour trenches, which are deep canals dug along hill slopes, were also created in fields to prevent water from running off. The villagers themselves got involved in planting trees to avoid soil erosion. Due to these attempts to conserve rainwater, the water table in the area has risen. Through such water conservation measures, farmers growing one crop a year in about 300 acres of land could now grow two crops in about 1,500 acres of land. The granaries in the village are also better stocked due to this. Apart from water conservation, the other achievement of Ralegan Siddhi is the generation of power from renewable resources. Solar energy has been harnessed for generating power. The street lights in the village mostly use solar power. Many households also generate energy from biogas projects. In this way, through water conservation and energy generation measures, the village of Ralegan Siddhi has transformed tremendously over the years. Another movement to conserve resources had started much earlier with the Bishnoi community in Rajasthan. Since 1485, this community has been involved in the conservation of trees and wild animals. As protectors of flora, the Bishnois do not fell green trees and only use the wood of trees that are dead. The Bishnois are famous for even sacrificing their lives to protect trees. History talks about 300 Bishnois who were killed by the reigning king's men because the Bishnois protested the felling of trees by hugging them. In fact, the Chipko movement in India was inspired by this tree-hugging act of the Bishnois. The Bishnois also prefer using cow dung for creating fire rather than using firewood. The Bishnois are also kind to all animals. Deer, peacocks and black bucks roam around freely in and around their settlements. In fact, due to their efforts, the hunting and poaching of chinkaras and black bucks in Rajasthan is under control, and these animals are conserved well in this region. The Bishnois also rear cows. but they do not sell dairy products or slaughter animals for meat. Their methods of conservation have earned them the name of the first environmentalists of India. Now let's take a look at all the conservation measures adopted by the Ralegan Siddhi and the Bishnoi communities.